Good afternoon, East Alabama and West Georgia. Dr. Don here with you on your Sunday evening, and let's talk a little weather. There's been some strange doings going on around the southeastern United States this afternoon, and there is no severe weather pending across East Alabama or West Georgia, but I want to take just a few moments and kind of explain to you what has happened. And some things that have changed since the last time we talked, and continue to give you hope that we are going to get some rain across East Alabama and West Georgia, especially the next 24 to 48 hours. And we're going to hang on to a decent chance of rain all the way through next Thursday. And maybe into early Friday morning, and next weekend looks pretty good right now. So let's talk a little bit about what has taken place today. If you'll remember, this morning we were watching a big plume of moisture coming up out of the Gulf of Mexico, and that thing was sitting just about where you see the rain and thunderstorms down there in South Alabama right now. And then it moved on up to the north and northeast over into middle Georgia, and you can see what's left of it over there just south of Augusta and near Savannah as it moves on off to the northeast. But the portion of that thunderstorm complex that moved out of the Gulf of Mexico that we thought was going to run across East Alabama and West Georgia just really kind of dissipated right over East Alabama and West Georgia. So it did not provide much in the way of shower and thunderstorm activity much further north than about the Auburn-Opelika area. Got some good rain there. And then a few of you got some very small areas of heavy rainfall. I saw one report of over an inch of rain just a very short period of time up in Chambers County. And so that was that. That has moved on since, and it's left us high and dry again across East Alabama and West Georgia. Now, you'll notice, and I'm going to talk about that stuff down there in South Alabama in just a few minutes because that's very interesting. But let's talk about the activity that you see there across central Mississippi up into northwest Alabama and then across northwest Georgia up into Tennessee. That is that frontal boundary that is going to very slowly sink to the south. I know the storms are moving to the north right now, but that's overriding moisture coming up out of the Gulf of Mexico that's causing those storms. Eventually, that frontal boundary will sink to the south and to the southeast, and that will enhance our chances of rain. But then the other thing that's going on is this energy down here in the Gulf of Mexico. And let me show you what the National Hurricane Center has done since the last time we talked. Look at there. Yes, so now the National Hurricane Center is giving this storm down in the Gulf of Mexico a 10% chance of actually developing into something tropic. Now, I don't think it's going to. I don't think there's enough time for this storm system to get its act together before it makes landfall. But nonetheless, there certainly could be some gusty winds and some very heavy rainfall down there across the Gulf of Mexico, the coastal regions of the Gulf of Mexico. So for you folks that may be down there at the coast, maybe you're going down for the entire week to get ready for the upcoming Labor Day holiday, the holiday weekend that's coming up this weekend, Memorial Day weekend. Then you're going to probably have to deal with some showers and thunderstorms down there for the next couple of days anyway, and some of them could be on the heavy side. But what is going to happen, this area of disturbance is going to occasionally spit pieces of energy up to the north, and that's what we're seeing here. That sets up what I'm about to show you now, as we have another plume of moisture coming in off the Gulf of Mexico this afternoon. That's bringing some significant rainfalls to places like Monroeville, Andalusia, up to Greenville, back over toward Troy, down in the Wiregrass area of Dothan, and even off to the south to Pensacola and Panama City, receiving still some heavy rainfall at this hour also. So all of that is going to once again move to the north, just as that plume of moisture did earlier today. But we're going to have to kind of wait and see what this does. I mean, that situation we had earlier today looked almost a sure bet that we were going to get some pretty good rain across East Alabama and West Georgia. It just fell apart. Like I said, when it got there along the I-85 corridor. So we will see what this area of activity does. This would be absolutely perfect for us because there is no severe weather associated with it. It's just some good soaking rain. That's what we would love to see move up into East Alabama and West Georgia. But this whole thing that's going on down in the Gulf of Mexico is pretty interesting. If you'll remember, for about the last 2 weeks, some of the models have been suggesting that we were going to have something of tropical nature in the Gulf of Mexico. And by golly, we do. I mean, it's not at this hour classified as a tropical storm or anything like that. But there's a lot of tropical moisture out there. This thing it's a low pressure system along a trough, and it even has a little spin to it. And when you go out there and look at the satellite shot, you can actually see feeder bands trying to feed back into that thing, which is pretty amazing. But again, it just doesn't have time to develop into anything of any great significance before it makes landfall. That's why the National Hurricane Center is only giving this a 10% chance of actually developing into something before it makes landfall, probably within about 24 hours. And it's probably going to come in somewhere around Pensacola back over toward Mobile. But there really is no identifiable center of circulation, so we're not really concerned about it. We're actually hoping that it sits there for several days and continues to spit this moisture up to the north. Maybe eventually we'll get some decent rains up here in East Alabama and West Georgia. We'll take you a little bit closer on the Dr. Don coverage area, and we will show you those counties that are outlined in red. That's our coverage area. And you can see there's just not anything going on at this hour. We had one very small shower cross over the Chambers County, Randolph County line there just south of Roanoke. It has faded away. We had a few sprinkles over here in Clay County. But other than that, it's just dry out there. Again, we believe this stuff in northwest Alabama will eventually start to push back to the south and to the southeast. We'll keep an eye on that. And we'll be watching this plume of moisture coming up out of the Gulf of Mexico to see if it's possibly going to stay together long enough to give us some much-needed rainfall across East Alabama and West Georgia. So that's the deal. No severe weather watches or warnings, no severe weather out there at all. We do have a couple of special weather statements to the right of this area of activity down in South Alabama, which also is indicative of a tropical system. You know, normally you get the stronger storms to the right-hand side of the storm, and that's what we're seeing this afternoon. We're getting a gradient wave that's running out ahead of this cluster of thunderstorms. It's kicking up some pretty good wind down there. Places like Enterprise back over toward Dothan. Troy dealt with that earlier today with a lot of trees blown down with that first area of moisture that moved through late morning into early afternoon. So let me go over here and take a look at the chat room, see if anybody has any particular questions, comments, or concerns. If so, I'll answer them right quick. Mossback Ridge is in the house this afternoon. Let's see who else we've got in here. Patsy Lawhorn's watching us over in LaGrange. Ted Talley's reporting 1 inch at Smith Station. And that fell in just a few minutes. That was from that area that moved through earlier today. And I don't doubt that at all. That was some very intense rainfall that moved through. And I know you're good with it, Ted. All of us would be good with that 1 inch in a very few minutes. That's better than nothing, but it's really not what, excuse the pun, what the doctor ordered. See what I did right there? You need that 1 inch scattered out over about 3 or 4 hours at least, or maybe 6 hours to be a good soaking rain to really soak in and do some good. But hey, at this point, we will take whatever we can get our hands on. Cindy Smith is watching us in Roanoke. Marie Baker's watching us. She's asking a question. Is Clay County going to get any thunderstorms? You're going to get showers and thunderstorms. I mean, they're in the forecast all the way through Thursday. So yes, you're going to see some showers and thunderstorms. Being able to pinpoint exactly what time and exactly where in your yard that raindrop's going to fall, I can't tell you that. But yes, the weather conditions are conducive for showers and thunderstorms to continue pretty much through Wednesday night, maybe even into Thursday afternoon. And then I think just in time for the holiday weekend, we go back to partly sunny skies with scattered afternoon thunderstorms. Hey, Kim and Valley, good to see you. Jasmine's watching us from Auburn. Yeah, Carrie, I see you guys have been getting some good rain down there. And I can't be jealous, though, because you guys have been dry longer than we have up here on the north end. So good for you. How's the monkey doing? I'll leave that right there. Boy, you'll never learn. Let's see. Mary Couch is watching us over in Wedowee. Hogansville, Georgia in the house. Hey, Sherry. Roanoke. Hey, Sharon. You ain't seen nothing yet, Carrie. But I will see you Wednesday. All right, folks. So just again, a quick update. Nothing severe anywhere across Alabama or Georgia. Well, I'll take that back. We have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings over there near Augusta. And then between Augusta and Savannah, we have some strong storms about to cross up into South Carolina. But across East Alabama and West Georgia, all of North Alabama and South Alabama, nothing severe at this hour. Really don't anticipate anything severe as we go throughout the remainder of the afternoon and the overnight. But a few strong storms are certainly possible. And right now we're hoping that precipitation coming up out of the Gulf of Mexico there near Enterprise, Alabama, up to just south of Montgomery, will hold together long enough to make it into East Alabama during the mid-evening hours. Probably, let's see, what do we got here? We're coming up on 6 p.m. We're looking at another couple of hours, probably an hour and a half before it makes it to the I-85 corridor, a couple of hours maybe until it gets up there to around I-20, if it holds together. Deja vu, we did this same thing earlier this afternoon. It looked good, and when it got to the I-85 corridor, it just vanished. So we're hoping maybe this one will hold together a little longer, and some of you folks will get some beneficial rain out of it. All right, y'all enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. If we see any other changes or major developments, of course, I'll jump right back in here and update you on it. But again, just in case you didn't catch us at the top of this broadcast, the National Hurricane Center has now introduced a 10% chance that we could actually have some tropical development down there in the Gulf of Mexico. We have a low-pressure center sitting down there. Probably does not have enough time, and weather conditions in the Gulf of Mexico are not very conducive for tropical development. We've got a lot of wind shear taking place down there, and actually that's what's blowing these thunderstorms up into northwest Florida and southern Alabama. It's the wind shear blowing off the tops of these storms and pushing it north. That's why that earlier round didn't hold together long enough to get into East Alabama, because it lost its roots. It lost the parent storm. These were tops that were blown off of the thunderstorms. And we got the same thing going on again now, but maybe the low has moved a little bit further north, and maybe so these storms will make it a little bit further north before they start to weaken later on this evening as well. Of course, also, when we start to lose the heating of the day, this stuff will calm down a little bit also. But we'll watch it for you. If anything changes, we'll be right back. Hey, send us some love. Send us some of those stars. Keep us going here on Dr. Don's Weather. And if I don't see you back in here again this evening, I'll catch you first thing tomorrow morning with your primetime forecast from Dr. Don's Weather. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Sunday.